Good morning. This is Desert Marigold and the garden in the center of the property. This is a biodynamic garden featuring a flow form style layout, and I am Farmer Tony, your guide. So let's get started and I'll show you around. This is our red tool shed. You can see today is a flower day. Flower days are days that you plant flower seeds that will become flowers. And today you'll notice, we'll zoom in on the activity over here. We'll walk by and see it. We have a couple of parents, a parent and a student at work. They're preparing beds to receive flower seeds, and we'll be planting those later on today. But first, let's take a tour. Here we have our sink. We use our sink here for our CSA and preparing vegetables, washing them for market. This is the interior of the red tool shed. We have all of our tools, and you can see it's pretty densely packed in here with the tools of our agricultural trade. And here we have our orchard. I'll take a little walk out here. We have several peach trees out here. One is in bloom here. This is a Meyer lemon. Pretty excited about this one. This is a tree I've had for a while, and it is a burgundy plum. This one is a apricot. We have an apple here. It's in bloom. This one is a Valencia orange. And then we have numerous other trees, many of which are peach, or featuring peach. We have two cherries. You can see this one is pretty much getting started right at the base. And then this one has a few sprouts at the top. And then right here we have a mulberry. This tree gets very, very, very large. So this is the one area of our garden that gets irrigated through flood irrigation from Salt River Water Project. Water comes flooding in here upon an order that I placed with them, and fills this whole basin as if it were a reservoir. We get a little lake going here, and I do that about once a week during the heavy hot period, heavy heat period here in Phoenix, Arizona. Here we have a shaded area that has all the seedlings that I've started and transplanted. These guys are destined for the garden later on once they're well established. And I have a little staging area here for transplanting. At some point in time, we'll have more shaded area. We'll have a little mini nursery going. Off in the distance, you can see several agricultural plots. These have been developed as a part of a grant that we received from the Gila River Indians, and that has also generated the ability for our campus to have a tractor. And so all of this is going to be maintained by that tractor. And in this area, this is an area that is dedicated to composting. This pile right here is from the bedding of our animals. We have a an individual who has horses, and they donate horse manure. So I use that horse manure in these windrow compost piles. So you can see numerous windrow compost piles. These right here are the ones that have been made by and maintained by the children here at Desert Marigold School. So they are integrally involved in the process of biodynamic gardening from the very beginning, which is creating the foundation of our soil, and that is the compost that we put into it. That's what nurtures and heals the earth. So we have several bins here that they utilize to add amendments. You can see we just did a mucking out of our animal stalls, so we have a lot of manure from the animals here. It's sort of coming out of their bin. Then we have soil, we have dry material, we have straw, and then eventually it all becomes the compost, the community compost. There's several other bins here to receive material from windrows once they're completed. And then here we have a large pile of manure. This is manure from Save Our Dairy in Queen Creek. They provide us with pretty close to organic based manure. Their animals are treated to some very healthy feed, which has not been treated with any pesticides or any chemical fertilizers. So what comes out is pretty good stuff, and that's what we add to our vegetable garden. Okay, I'm going to take a walk back here, show you the garden. You'll notice that this area that we're walking through right here is actually very similar in size, if not larger, than the garden itself. And that's what you need to have here in the desert to support the soil that we're trying to make fertile. Soil was never naturally intended to grow what we're growing here, and consequently it is very much lacking in organic material. So we have to supply the organic material. And here we are. This is a section of the garden that I plant mostly in herbs, with the border being flowers. This border right here is planted in sunflowers. This is in several other kinds of smaller flowers, including this particular one, which is a Zulu Prince Daisy. You can see we have bees coming down, and at least there was one of them there. Yes, we do have bees, and they are enjoying the flowers. You can see the calendulas here, and the very tall flowers here are blooming cilantro, which will, if turned into seed, become coriander. This is the heart of the garden here. We have a number of different plants planted here, including a lot of lettuce here. The outermost part of that bed is Swiss chard. This is a beautiful bed of carrots, and this bed is a wonderful bed of lettuces, and the next one is broccoli, and then beyond the broccoli, we'll come around to see it, is garlic. We also have a garlic bed right here. Most of these beds are in seedlings that will be developed into larger mature plants in a couple of months that will support our CSA, our community supported agriculture. Here we have a row of fava beans or broad beans. These guys have been in this bed here for a couple months, and they're just now starting to show the beginnings of the beans developing. Those beans are just now maturing, and you can see right here those broad beans. They're really beautiful. And we have almost a mature one here. All right. So that'll be something real exciting to share with the CSA members. All right. Moving around here into the shade, we have a portion of the garden that was developed for peaches. So we have a peach tree mini orchard here. There are 5 peach trees representing 4 different varieties. And this will provide a really nice shaded area. You can see the garden now from a different vantage point. An archway that was created by the 5th grade, now the 7th grade. And we have a landscaped area here, a xeriscaped area developed by the 9th grade. This has agave in it. We have a border of, as you can see here, a Palo Verde. There are 3 of them here to someday look just like this one, bordering this whole area going around the garden. The whole idea here is to allow the students, as they come into school and when they leave, to have this wonderful, calm, bucolic experience that will ground them and make them that much more receptive to both what they learn and what they take in here at Desert Marigold. Okay, I'm going to end this up by taking us around and seeing what our helpers are doing today, maybe introducing them. We have, as you can see here, an area that is just now being developed to receive giant Russian sunflower seeds. So they'll be planted along this edge here. Here we have Mr. Moneyhone and his son Aiden.
Hello.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
Good.
They're busily creating an area that we're going to feature some climbing plants to climb over this archway, and they're preparing the beds for that. How's the work going so far?
Oh, pretty well. It truly is amazing that something can grow other than weeds in soil like that. How hard that is.
It is hard soil.
But that's where all the preparation comes in.
There you go. There you go.
Woo.
And soon you're going to take that soil and add amendments and return the combined amendment and soil combination back into that hole, and we'll put some irrigation tubing there, and once we plant it, it'll be happy.
Yeah, because it's almost like chipping away at rock.
There you go. There you go. Well, we chip away a little bit at a time.
Exactly.
All right. Aiden, how are you doing over here?
Oh, good. Yeah.
All right.
Slow but steady.
Excellent. Excellent. All right, gentlemen, I'll leave you to it.
All right.
As I take our tour back through the other portion of the garden. Now we're entering another major pathway. Here's borage. Borage is pretty cool. These are very pretty star-like blue flowers. Let me get you a close-up of this. And you can see the bees coming in and out. They are very, very pleased to be able to enjoy the nectar from these. And I will show you here a row of broccoli that has been producing for quite some time. And I've allowed this broccoli to go to seed and to blossom. And the idea being to provide the bees with a source of nectar, as well as giving the plant an opportunity to produce seed. Alright, I hear our chickens making noise, so we might as well just finish off this tour by giving you a little shot of the chickens in their chicken coop. Alright, there we go. They provide us with eggs, plentiful amount. They too are shared throughout the community. So there you have a nice tour of Desert Marigold's biodynamically grown garden. Enjoy.